Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rico, and I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to talk about how to learn graphic design for beginners. Why I'm qualified to tell you is because I'm a graphic designer and I taught myself. The theme of my channel is all about making money, right? And so learning graphic design can benefit you in all the different topics I cover. Let's jump right into what you need and how to go about learning graphic design as an absolute beginner. All right, so first, you got to really figure out your goal, okay? Are you learning it for a specific reason? For instance, do you want to know how to make your own business cards? There's certain parts of design that you don't need to know if you only want to make yourself business cards. And I highly recommend you starting off with a goal and knowing what you want to learn so that you don't spend unnecessary time learning stuff that you don't need to know. That's a mistake that I made at the beginning. Now, if you just want to be a world-class designer like myself and know how to design everything, then that's even better. Technically, there isn't anything that you don't need to know. You just need to accept the fact that it'll take some time to learn it, as with everything else. So I highly recommend you figure out what your goal is before you learn. Number 2, figure out which software you're going to use. Now, we're talking a little bit past Canva and the free online resources that you can use. We're talking about real design, right? So the software bundle I recommend for learning design is the Adobe Creative Suite. It's home to Photoshop, Illustrator, amongst many other softwares. Now, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on what Photoshop and Illustrator are for people who don't know and how they're relevant in the design world. Now, Photoshop is the gold standard, bro, as far as photo editing software. It provides you with many photo editing features for raster, aka pixel-based images, as well as vector graphics, okay? I'm sure some of these words mean absolutely nothing to you right now. And so that's basically, in a nutshell, what Photoshop is. Now, Illustrator is the industry standard design app that lets you work with shapes, color, effects, and mostly typography, okay? This is things like logos, SVGs for my Etsy crowd. Illustrator is vector based, okay? Meaning the said design can be scaled up or down without a loss of quality. And once again, this is more advanced talk that probably means nothing to you, so I won't bore you with it right now. That's basically what Illustrator is. Now, there's other options like GIMP, Paint, and things like that. I highly recommend the Adobe Creative Suite, and it's not as expensive as it used to be. You can pay, I think it's $79.99 a month, and if you're a student or something like that, then it's even lower. I believe it's $20 a month. Don't quote me on that. Go check for yourself. But yeah, I recommend that. Once you know what software you want to use, you need to find a learning resource, and that can be tutorials and things like that. It's important though that you learn the basics first, right, of a program, not of a method, of a program. So not yet anything to do with how to make logos or anything like that. You just need to know how to work Photoshop, all right? You need to know what buttons do what. Where are each of these buttons located? Too many times we jump into the how to make a logo tutorial, and then you get intimidated because you know what? You don't know. You think you can follow along with the tutorial, but you don't even know which button the instructor just pressed. And so that leaves you intimidated and then not willing to go forward because it's like, okay, this is too hard. I can't even follow along. And you need to know where everything is before you can do that. So that's why I recommend that first. And you can learn those basics by simply going into YouTube or Lynda, Skillshare, or any of the learning platforms and type in Photoshop for beginners, Illustrator for beginners, and the very preliminary first course is going to be the type of course you're looking for just to get familiar with the software itself. Okay, now after you learn that, if you're wanting to learn exactly what it is you want to learn, remember I talked about there's some people who just want to learn how to make their own business card, right? If you want to do that, then after you learn these, then you're ready to go follow a really basic, beginner tutorial on how to create what you're trying to create, because you already know where these buttons, because you already know where these buttons are, and it's simple for you. If you don't have a specific reason and you just want to be an overall great designer like me, then after you learn the tools, what you need to learn is design fundamentals, okay? That is a huge mistake that I made. I did not learn the fundamentals first. I probably learned them last, honestly, just being honest. Learning fundamentals like how colors work together, how typography works to tell a story, will make you a better designer and much faster, okay? Don't worry about the super advanced effects until later on. And spoiler alert, all they are a combo of fundamentals anyway. So make sure you learn the fundamentals, and then when it comes to doing the cool effects, you're good. After you learn the fundamentals, you're ready to get going. Start searching for tutorials on things that you're interested in, okay? I loved movie poster tutorials because most of the time, a movie poster is a combination of all the elements of a good design, right? You get to learn typography tricks, special effects, color grading, color technique, and everything. A movie poster, like I said, is a combination. A good movie poster is all the elements of the design coming together and being one beautiful piece of art. So lynda.com, Skillshare, YouTube are all great learning resources. So now for some tips, all right? Just a couple gems from me to you, all right? After a while, you'll naturally start to get more and more comfortable with design. Repetition, though, like anything else, improves your skill. And pretty soon, you're ready to even freelance and make some money off that skill if you want. We all learn at a different pace, though, but I would say I was ready and comfortably able to say I could charge somebody for a mixtape cover or charge somebody for a logo. I would say after 6 months in, and that's honestly because I was putting in the work every night, 4 hours a night, learning. So in 6 months I was able to get good. It might happen faster for you, okay? Here's the gem number one. Always stay inspired, okay? There's a thin line between stealing somebody's artwork and then getting inspiration. You never want to steal. You never ever want to steal. However, I want to stress that it's always a good idea to get inspiration. It keeps you creative. It keeps you striving to get better. And sometimes staring at other people's design and understanding their design process helps you, and you can take elements of theirs and integrate it into yours. Behance.com is somewhere I go for inspiration. Man, the best designers in the world, and I still don't feel like I compare to them at all. So check out Behance.com, bro. You'll see what I'm talking about. Here's another gem. All right, you will never ever know everything. A designer with 5 years of experience can still teach certain aspects of design to a 30-year experienced designer. I've seen it happen simply because there's almost 1,000 ways to do just about every little task in these type of design programs. All right, so you can really you'll never ever be able to fully grasp it, so don't try, because it'll stress you out. Seriously. The third nugget that I'm gonna leave you with, and then I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Stop when it's not fun, bro. Seriously. Design is supposed to be fun. It's when you're at your best when you're doing stuff that makes you happy, right? And when it comes to design, you're at your best when you're most creative. You're most creative when you're happy, okay? So always remember that if design ever gets not fun, and it happened to me too, I started to get uninspired by the concepts that we use in hip-hop, graphic design, but that's another story for another time. And that's the time that it happened for me, so I'm just telling you, do not keep going. Stop. Either stop doing that type of work or just stop, period. It'll really kill your love for design. And so, that's it, man. I appreciate y'all staying to this point of the video. I just wanted to go over how you can learn from home and give you a couple of different ways that you can learn. And so if I helped you at all, if I put a bug in your ear, if I said, if I motivated you today to say, you know what, man, I want to go do this, I want to go become a designer. Guess what? I did it with no experience, bro, with nothing but a laptop that was way more ran down than this one. So, man, peace to everybody out there. If you got questions, man, hit me in the comments or hit me anywhere. I always respond. I love everybody out there. Let's get it.